It is noteworthy at this point that the divisions in Tehillim and throughout Nach are not designated as prokim, but rather as chapters or kapitlach. We do not use the Hebrew word perik because the divisions mostly are not of Jewish origin. And therefore we do not say perik. Now a fourth chapter of Tehillim. The Miri explains that the fourth capital has an association with the previous. It was also said at the time of the strife of David with his son Avshalom, who rebelled and had desires to assume the throne. There were many who opposed David and spoke evil of him. And so we read, Lam Natseach b'neginos mizmor David. Lam Natseach for the chief musician or the choir master. Neginos is a string instrument, mizmor a song. The Medrash Tov says that this chapter was offered with the kinds of praise, three of Nitzuach, Neginos, and Mizmor. Neginos is an expression of Nevuah, prophecy, as the Malachim Beis Gimel, V'hoya Chanagin HaMenagim. Lamnatseach means to the Almighty. He was Lo Netzach, for eternity. Lemisha Nitzchoy Netzach Nitzochem. Rashi says that Lamnatseach refers to the Leviim, who strengthen themselves in their service. The Chazal in Psochim Kufyutes say Lamnatseach means to God, Lemisha Noitzchoy V'Sameach. God rejoices when the Jews attain a victory over him with their prayers, with their supplications, and persuade him to change his thought and his will. As in Tehillim Kuvov, Moshe prevailed with his prayers. Lule Moshe bechira yom ba'peres lefonav lohoshiv chamosay mehashchis. Bikori aneni elokei tzidki. When I call you, answer me, God of my righteousness. The Medrash Tanchumah comments, you must answer me because I am a descendant from Yehuda. And Moshe blessed Yehuda, Shema Hashem Kol Yehuda. And even if I do not deserve it, do it for me as a tzedakah. Batzor hirchaftali. In distress you enlarge for me. The Yerushalmi Tainus Beis Tes comments, when I found myself in trouble, you enabled me to profit from it even. I had the trouble with Bathsheba and you gave me Shlomo. I had national troubles and you gave me the Beis Hamikdash. Therefore I pray also now, Choneini ushmat filosi. Be gracious to me and hear my prayers. The Aushach HaKodesh comments, two approach the king with their pleas. To one he responds, be quiet, be still, I know what you want and desire and I will comply. To the other one he says, what is your need? Let me hear. Surely he has a love only for the second. Therefore David says, Choneini ushmat filosi. B'nei ish, you children of men. According to the Medrash Tov, he refers here to Achisofel and Doeg. You are my enemies, but you are, as Rashi comments, the children of Avraham, Yitzchak, and Yaakov. Ad me chavodi lechlima. How long will you turn my glory into shame? You expose my kingdom to shame. Te'ehovin rik. How long will you love vanity by calling me only Ben Yishai? Tevakshu chozav selah. How long will you seek falsehood? Some translate selah forever. Others say that selah has no translation. It is a poetic expression to indicate the inflection, a change of tone or modulation of voice. Instead of accepting the various libels, you should all rather pray that the kingdom should be stabilized with honor. And if you should say, of what avail am I as an individual? My prayer will have any significance or worth? You should know, do you, ki hifla Hashem chosid lo, that God has set apart him that is godly for himself. Even one Jew who is a chosid lo, who is mischasedim koinoi, who conducts himself with God with piety and honesty, his prayers are effective even in matters national, even universal. The same as Hashem Yishma Koli Bikori Elov. God will hear my voice when I call to him. Rigzu v'al techto. Tremble in awe before God and you shall not sin. Imru v'vavchem amishkavchem. Say in your heart on your bed, v'doimu selah, and be still, Selah, forever. The Chazal and Brochus Dalet derive from this verse the duty to recite Kriya Shema as a protection against the Mazikim, against evil forces. Resh Lakish says, Le'olam yagis odom yetzah tov al yetzah hara, that a Jew must constantly encourage his yetzah tov to prevail over the yetzah hara. Rigzul v'yal techtor. If he succeeded, fine, and if not, yasik v'torah. He should engage in the study of Torah. If successful, fine. If not, then yikra Kriya Shema. Then he should recite Kriya Shema. If successful, fine. If not, yaske lo yom hamisa. Then he should remind the Yetzer Hara about the day of death. Shenema v'doimu Selah. Some ask, if the most effective method is to remind the day of death, then why is it necessary to employ the other methods first? Why not immediately remember his mortality? Chasidus answers, if you think of death, this produces atzvus, sadness and gloom, melancholy, pessimism. And one can serve God only with simcha, in joy. Ivdus Hashem b'simcha. Therefore, this method is to be left as last. Others answer, only after the first methods were employed, after learning Torah, after reciting Kriya Shema, after remembrance of one's mortality, then have an influence. We see that people attend a funeral, visit mourners, it makes no impact. We remain as we were. Others indicate that the Chazal say, Yaski Eloi Yom HaMisa. One should remind himself of his own mortality. We usually imagine that only others die. A deceased is bar minon, separated from us. There is a society of dying persons. It has no relationship to ourselves. But if Yaski Eloi Yom HaMisa, it will then have an effect. The Chazal and Brochus Lamed Aleph relate that at the marriage celebration of Ma'abered Ravina, the Chazal requested of Rav Amuna Zuti to sing something. So he sang, Vailon de Mistan, Vailon de Mistan, woe unto us that we shall die. The Chazal said then, Anan manane abasrach, what can we now say? And he answered, Hey Torah v'hei mitzvah de magna alon. Where is the Torah and the mitzvahs that protect us? The commentaries ask, did the Chazal have to sing or say anything? The explanation offered is, at the celebration, all let loose. And the rabbis requested that Rav Amuna should sober up the gathering. And when they heard that Rav Amuna employed the last method immediately, the method of Yaski Eloi Yom HaMisa, they therefore felt insulted. This would indicate that for them, Torah and Kriya Shema would be useless. So Rav Amuna said, my method was for the ordinary masses in the gathering, but for you, Torah and mitzvahs should be enough. Zivchu zivchei tzedek, offer the sacrifices of righteousness, uvitru el Hashem, and put your trust in God. Slaughter the Yetzer Hara through tzedakah, give charity until it is a sacrifice. But then there could be the possibility, if one gives someone tzedakah, he may become impoverished. He then therefore says, uvitru el Hashem, have faith, God shall sustain you. Rabbi Moimrim, many say, Mi Yareinu Tov. Who will show us good? According to the Medrash Tehillim, the Goyim say this. We wish we could have shared our goodness with the Jews. The Jews reply, Kama tzoros v'kama shibudim v'kama harigos. How much have we suffered for Kiddush Hashem? And now you Goyim want to share in our success and glory. Niso aleinu epanech Hashem. O God, lift up thy light of your countenance. Rashi explains the Jews say, we wish we had the goodness and tranquility of the Goyim. So it says, what is the worth of all the material gains? Niso aleinu epanech Hashem. We have the most valuable prize, God's radiant, glorious presence. Nosato simcha belibi. You put more happiness in my heart. Meyes digono v'siroshem robo. Then the time of their corn and wine increased. Others interpret, when the Goyim have economic problems, they blame the Jews. Jews are the scapegoat for all their troubles. But nosato simcha belibi. I can rejoice when things go well with the Goyim. When meyes digono v'siroshem robo. When they enjoy plenty and prosperity, then they will leave the Jews in peace. V'sholem yachdav eshkeva v'yishan. Then I can lie down in peace and sleep. I can sleep in peace when yachdov, when united and protect one another. Ki ato Hashem, when you are for us God of compassion, then I can sleep even levodod, alone. I have no fear then, for lovetach toshiveni, you will make me dwell in safety.